Mm.
Hello, welcome back to Be Heard with Shalon. I am Shalon, and we are talking to different mums, solo mums actually, about their experience of being a solo mom and what their journey has looked like and how that is going for them, how they navigate through all of that. And I am welcoming Cassandra today, who's going to share a little bit with us. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Excited to hear your story. Don't really know much about it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's really exciting to me. But I just wanted to share actually that we met at the New Goddess Retreat, like,
Mhm.
I don't know, how many years ago was that?
Oh my gosh.
Like 5 years ago now, maybe?
Yeah. Well, Raya's 5, so I think it was just after she was born. So yeah, probably
Yeah,
four
well,
or
because
five
I
years ago.
remember her running around at one of the retreats.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was so cute. Oh my goodness, I loved it. Just bringing that like little like inner child energy to all of the
Yeah.
women. I think that's what we needed that year for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh man, this has been really interesting year because Spirit just keeps pulling me back to what is my story. And
Interesting.
I'm like, I have to get organized on what my story is. So yeah, I'll just start a little bit with growing up. I guess I grew up doing a lot of music, doing a lot of piano, and my life was kind of inundated with that. And as we all do, we grow up and have a dream to have a family. And I met my partner when I was really young. I think I was 18 or
Oh,
so.
that is really young.
Yeah, it was really young. We dated for a few years, and then life just led us to get married and kind of do the family thing. Um, Within that first year of marriage, it was pretty a pretty crazy year, to be honest. I was actually in school for music as well. I'd just gotten in to music, taking my Bachelor of Arts, major in music, minor in education. But it was an interesting year because I was like, I've done a lot of this already. There's a lot of newbies and stuff like that. And at the end of that year, I actually got pregnant with my first kiddo, my oldest, Sage. So that was exciting. I was really excited to be a mom. I had grown up in a pretty hard relationship with my mom growing up. It was very chaotic, and I think she was dealing with a lot of mental health issues and just a system that didn't support women as we see right in our systems is it
It's,
just
yeah.
not supportive of women's health or mental health or understanding their body or what was going on with them. So I watched my mom for many, many years just struggle health wise, mental health, and then her body really fell apart. So when my kids were really young, my mom had to go in for a hip surgery. I think she was young, like 45, 50. They didn't want to do it, but her hip was so mangled, she couldn't walk on it. So she had to go in for this hip surgery, but she never actually recovered from it. Um, so I remember the first like 5 years of my oldest children's life, we were in the hospital a lot because she had to keep going in for hip surgery on this hip because her body just kept filling with infection. So that was a really hard time in my life, just being a mom myself and then watching my mom's kind of body and life fall apart. I spent a lot of time in hospitals, and it was really frustrating because the medical system just didn't address a lot of the mental health issues she was also going through during this time. And as a young mom, I didn't really know how to address them myself because my parents didn't really listen to me either. And the medical system wasn't listening to me. So I was getting really frustrated because I was just watching this woman in front of me deal with all these health issues. And I was actually quite helpless to do anything about it. Um, so going through that is really why I do the work that I do now, is just watching her go through all of that. I was like, there's got to be a better way. Like, there just has to be a better way. And then, even when I went through my own pregnancies with my kids, I dealt with like postpartum depression, um, just being very isolated, not having a kind of a very supportive family or partner as well, who kind of cared what I was going through because I was kind of always the strong one in the family as well. And so they didn't really check in on me. I had to do a lot of it myself. I had to take care of myself and go to the doctors. And I got really scared one time because I went into a doctor's appointment and I told the doctor what was going on, and he literally asked me what I wanted to take.
Mm. Yes.
And that really scared me. I'm like, well, you're the doctor. Shouldn't you be testing me for something? Like maybe it's just my hormones. Like you're asking me what I want to take. And from that point on, I did a lot of research. I did a lot of self-research on depression, on women's health, on my menstrual cycles, and just coming out of having children. Um, and I learned a lot of different ways to take care of my own depression. And during that time, I actually started exercising a lot because that helps. I did a lot of yoga
Yes.
and I took magnesium. They don't tell you that magnesium actually is like a cure-all for depression and a
It is.
lot of our
Yeah. Magnesium
hormonal,
is amazing for so many different things.
right?
But
Um,
like, can we, I just want to like, where do you get good magnesium though? Because
this
I
is,
feel like the stuff in the store is like
yeah,
not being absorbed into your body properly.
yeah. So this is also why I do the work that I do because I went to a herbal apprenticeship program last year and they completely, or in 2024, they completely shifted my identity with working with plant medicines, which I had already done
Yeah.
since my mom was like going through this and I was going through my own health issues and stuff like that and researching it. But they really talked about dealing with medicine, dealing with the plants as a whole plant. And because they're dealing with a whole person, right? And so a lot of the times we're extracting these minerals and these one specific things from these plants, but that's not actually how the medicine works. It
Mhm.
works as a whole thing. And so when you're taking whole plant medicines like raspberry leaf tea or nettle leaf tea, you're getting the combination, the alchemical process of that whole plant working within your system. So it's working to balance your system out,
Mhm.
right? Where a lot of like magnesium, you're just getting that one compound, but there's so many compounds of magnesium and it works better together,
Right.
right?
Well,
So the problem is we try to pinpoint a symptom and try to solve the symptom, but it's actually what's going in our life. Am I giving myself enough nourishment? How am I filling my cup? Am I exercising? What is my home life like? Is it stressful? Can I take the time out? Is it sanctuary? All that stuff matters as well to whether we're absorbing things or not.
absolutely. That's why I've said for so many years, like I focus on mind, body, soul all the time. Like if those three are not balanced, then you need to like figure out which part of those needs to come back into balance again so
Yeah.
that you're like feeling like abundant and flowy and all of the things in your life, right? When you're
Yeah.
depleted, then like something's got to go or something's got to change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
So explain to everybody exactly what you do because I think
Yeah.
it's amazing. I don't know if I even knew that you took this apprenticeship program.
Yeah. So I do a lot of different things and it's really just culminated over the last like six 6 years. Um, I didn't really know what I could do. I had a lot of gifts. But the past year I've taken a herbal apprenticeship program out on Vancouver Island because I just really wanted to hone in my knowledge and have guidance because I'm very self-researched. I'm a Sagittarius, like I love to explore
All
and
of us Satis, we just ride together, I tell you.
right. We get to the truth of like, okay, this is the truth, you know? And we self-experiment a lot, right? We have to have that embodied experience so that we
Absolutely.
can really
Mhm.
be empathic to other people's plight in life, I think. Um, sorry, I lost the question already.
What you do. Like
Right, what I do, right? Um,
Okay.
so that really helped organize just how I deliver my medicine, my own relationship with the medicine. So I am a herbalist.
Mhm.
I go forage and grow as much as I possibly can. I built a beautiful garden last year. So I make tinctures and infused honeys is my favorite. I make lots of different salves. And then I just came through a 2-year shaman course. So I am also a shaman healer, medium as well. I think medium is really where all my gifts came through. And that's something that a lot of people know that I do is that I am a medium. And that's kind of my first source of divination, I guess, is talking to past people. Um, something I've always been connected to, which I think is scary and amazing and incredible.
And so it's funny because I love that you do all of these like different things and you bring them all together because that's really what it is about for us. It's like bringing all of these like past life modalities into this
Mhm.
lifetime and bringing them all together and using
Yeah.
them, right? It's not just one or nothing or one and like that's it. It's not. It's about like the full embodiment of all that we truly
Mhm.
are, right? And
Yeah.
using it to help everybody else.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
that's what I loved about the shaman course is it gave me rituals and ceremonies that really organized things I already could do.
Mhm.
And in the shaman course too, my teacher really promoted, in order to be a healer, you also have to heal yourself. That is the first initiation. You have to go through the healing and you have to go through understanding yourself and why you came in to live this life and kind of why you go through these things. And essentially it's called earning the light. So you're earning that relationship to yourself in the sense of just seeing why you're suffering or seeing that relationship to that pain. So it really helped me face a lot of fears in the work that I do, because that's the one thing we have to confront is that fear.
I love that you said like with like reference like the suffering, why the suffering and why the pain, because we actually become stuck in that because it feels normal.
Yeah, familiar.
Don't know any different.
Yeah,
You just they're like it's almost like this cycle you get stuck in. It's almost like an addiction to the suffering, an addiction to the pain, the addiction to like all of it, the worry, the doubt, the fear, the all of it, right? Because
yeah,
we don't know any other way, right? And so that's why it's about like getting to the root and the core of all of that so that we
yeah,
can heal it and actually live this beautiful life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually funny because I'm going over one of the modules and it's wolf medicine. And it's all about how we relate to our pain, how
I
we relate.
literally just got like full body goosebumps. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm like, you literally just said what that module is about how emotions are, we can get addicted to them, right? We can get
Absolutely.
addicted to the loop of them.
Yeah.
And so, really learning how to get to the root and then change and shift the outcome of like, okay, why did I go through that lesson? Have I learned what I needed to from that lesson? And now I needed this healed outcome, but I wasn't ready for it then because we also have to go back and revisit some of these things too. That's part of learning the lesson.
Mhm.
And so I found in this course I was really able to go back to some very traumatic um, things in my life and really extract the medicine from them. And now when I come up to that again, because we get tested, I'm like, oh, I've been here before. Okay, I get
Yes.
to, it also opens our access to choose differently. And I'm like, oh, I've been here before. I don't need to be here again. I'm going to
Hmm.
choose differently. Thank you for the lesson. I'm so grateful moving this way.
Been there, learned that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Next.
I'm ready for the thriving.
So tell us about your lovely children. How many do you have?
Oh, I have three lovely children. My oldest is Sage. My son is Easton, and then my youngest is Araya, and they are my life.
Yeah.
They are my
Your
reason.
children definitely, yeah.
They are my reason for living. They are the reason I really pushed forward to change, to make life different as best as I could. It's been hard. Um, when you're trying to shift that wheel of your lineage, it's hard because so much of my life was created based on that lived trauma. I was just repeating cycles. And to be midlife and be like, oh, I built that life. Okay, I don't want to build that life anymore. And to like stop that momentum is really, really hard.
Mhm.
But my children, I'm really grateful because I got to spend a lot of time with my older two just being a mom. Their dad worked away quite a bit, so I could just mom them. And I think in a way that I didn't get mommed, like I was able to pour in that nourishment, that love, that care, that playfulness. Like I really took care of them in a way that I look back at now. I'm like, I needed that. And
Mhm.
right. And
Sweet. Yes.
yeah, so I was really able to take care of them. Um, and just love them. And I don't know if you pay attention to design, but both my kids are projector kids. So
Oh.
they actually need a lot of rest and because they take on a lot from other people.
Mhm.
And so we were able to kind of create our own little world where we could just rest and be creative and um, just be who we wanted to be, which I think is such a great gift. Because I didn't get that when I was growing up. It was like in some ways I did, but and I had connections like to my grandmother and stuff like that. But like I said, I just think I was really able to mum them in a way that I wasn't able to. And then my youngest, man, she's a firecracker. Holy,
She's so cute.
that kid. I'm
When
like,
she was running around at the retreat, I was like,
yeah,
oh my goodness. And we
yeah,
were like putting stickers on her and
I know. She loves like wherever I take her, sometimes I have to take her to tarot parties and like she's with me when I go to work all the time.
oh, lovely.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, what did you sign up to do, child? Like, she's
Right.
just with me through, and like, I'll be doing sessions and she'll come down and she'll do something. And it's just so linked to the session that I'm doing.
Mhm.
And she's just a firecracker. And she is how do I want to put this? Like, defense kid. She really taught me boundaries. Like, no is a full sentence.
Yes.
And I'm like, this kid, like, she came in here to teach me.
So many things, right? So many things. So
Yeah.
I'm surface level in regards to the human design thing. Do you want to maybe
Mhm.
just like touch base on what that is and how that helps people? For some people that might not know what that is.
Yeah, so I'm not like deep into it, but I do definitely use it because I'm a generator
Mhm.
and I'm what they call a hermit opportunist. So I'm like that alchemist in the background doing all my concoctions and all my work, and then all of a sudden other people bring me forward, kind of like what you're doing, to share what I've been working on.
Right.
And so I love to hermit. I love to go forage in the forest by myself. Like I am that hermit, but I'm always working. I'm a generator. I want to bring gifts to people essentially, and just bring things to people. Um, so that's a generator. A projector. Projectors are usually the people that um, like my kids, they take on a lot from their environment to project it back into the environment. So pretty much to tell the people like, hey, this is what you need to shift. So projectors have a pretty big task because they're not quite like reflectors, but because reflectors reflect back, projectors actually focus that intent into the collective through their actions. And so usually they have to be invited in to do something. So projectors really need to be invited. And if they're not invited, then they usually get pretty pissy because they also want to be able to decline the invitation, right? So projectors are pretty powerful in just how they can shift the energy of a room as well. Um, then you have manifestors, or I get a lot of manifesting generators. So they're like me, but 2.0. Like,
That's me.
yeah, like,
Team generator.
yeah. So working tenfold, like you're working tenfold. So you're
That
doing
makes sense.
like double the job for everybody. You're like, I see what you can do. I can see what you can do.
Yeah, is that what it is? You just see the potential in everybody, and it's like, you're not doing what you should be doing. What are you
Yeah,
get to it?
yeah. And then you make the platform for them. You build
Pretty
the
much.
platform.
Pretty much. I'm always like, okay, we could do this and this and this and this and this, and it'd be done.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I got you, boo. Let's just do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Like this ABCD done.
yeah, yeah. So and I get a lot of manifesting generators that I work with because they pull me forward. So
Mhm.
that's just
Mhm.
part of my design. So and then you have reflectors, which I think reflectors are a little bit more rare because they literally are the mirror. They are the
Yes.
mirror for people. And so a lot of people will misjudge them or maybe not really care about them too much just because they're the mirror. And so you get defensive when you come up against a mirror, right? So
Yes.
reflectors are usually pretty powerful. I've only ever met one reflector, to be honest, and she was like a crone. I think like reflectors can be very old souls
Yes.
because they have the capacity to hold being a reflector. So, yeah, but I love all astrology. I love human design and gene keys. And I see them all as working together one day. We'll have enough intelligence to understand all of them. But they're all so intricate, right? So,
I love that.
Yeah.
So how long have you been divorced for?
Well, I've been separated since 2018.
Okay.
2018, just before COVID.
And how was that whole
Oh,
that good, hey?
it it was probably, I might even get emotional, probably one of the hardest times of my life. Because if we want to talk about intergenerational trauma, if we want to talk about attracting parallel trauma, um, even like the partner that I had, I see now it was just a lot of similar trauma.
Mhm.
And how do I say this? It's like I energetically ruled the roost because I didn't know how else to be. And I would say it's that narcissistic, empathic connection, but it can go both ways.
Right.
So, what I tried to look at now, it was very hard because our system is abusive, right? Like, no matter what way you look at it, it's abusive. And my whole experience was awful. I was really abused through the whole process, and I really was drowning. And I separated from him because just a lot of not, it was very toxic, very, very toxic. Um, I left. Actually, it's funny because Uranus is about to leave Taurus, and when Uranus went into Taurus is when I separated
Oh, I
from
love
my
it.
from
Geez.
my yeah, I'm like, that's crazy. Um, and it was scary because I didn't have any outside support. I was telling everybody what was going on and what was happening, and nobody listened to me. Everybody took his side, even my dad. And so I've gone through that a couple times. It's interesting because I'm actually living back at my parents right now,
Okay.
and I actually never thought I'd be back here. So that just tells you a lot of healing has gone on in the last couple years.
Amazing. Yes.
Um, but yeah, it was very scary to leave. We were actually both living here when I separated from him because it was the only safe way I felt I could leave. And then it was just chaos. It again, nobody believed me of what was happening. Once we got into the lawyers and stuff too, like that was just very abusive. I was really trying to advocate for my kids and have them be heard too, and have myself be heard. And nobody heard me.
Yes.
Absolutely nobody.
Yes.
And so every time I turned around, I was just getting beat down and beat down and beat down. And got a little place on my own with the kids in the city. Got a job at the Russian tea room reading cards, but that was not the healthiest place at the time either. Got really burnt out really quickly. Got into another toxic relationship because I just was feeling very alone. And that relationship produced a Raya, and that was in like the peak of COVID. And so just I didn't know how to do relationship, but I was just craving connection, but all the
Yes.
connection I was getting was just so toxic. And so I look at it now as just um again, I've done some healing when it I don't even have them to blame because I just didn't know what other choices to make. Like I was a different person then. And I was making very wounded choices because I just didn't have anybody,
Other way.
yeah, to lean on or to help guide me out of making those decisions for
Mhm.
myself. Because um, my mom was still struggling with her health. My dad's been an alcoholic his whole life. And then I just picked relationships that were those relationships, right? And sometimes you don't know that until you go through the experiences of them.
Well, and I feel like that's part of the journey, right? Like we attract these relationships to us so that we can start to make different choices and start to learn the lessons and start to break the cycle and start to do the stuff, right?
Yeah,
And until we start making different choices, that's exactly what continues to happen.
yeah,
Because I know myself going through like multiple different relationships, like I feel like I grew after each one of them. Like it was almost like I knew it was time to leave because it was like I've learned everything I needed to learn here, and now it's time to move on.
yeah,
Right? Like it just got to that point where it was like, oh, you could feel Like I could feel, and I was like, okay, here we go. Okay,
Yep.
here we go.
Yep. It was
Yeah.
exactly that. It was exactly that. And like Araya's dad and I were living again back at my parents. I just kind of keep back coming back to my parents.
Well,
Uh,
grateful to have a place to come back to, right?
Oh, oh, right.
Yeah.
And then that unlocked just a bunch of stuff because at one point it just wasn't safe to be here with any of them.
Mm.
And so again, I had to get me and the kids out. Thankfully, a girlfriend took me in. Um, but even that, I was like, I can't be here forever. I need to do something different. And then I had nobody because my ex was still living with my parents. And so that was hard. And at that point, my dad was more concerned with him being homeless than me and my kids. So that was a gut punch. And
Yes.
so kids and I had to go into a shelter. But that was such in some ways I have no words for that experience. It was the first time I was actually believed for everything I was going through. Um, First time that people are like, we hear you. Like, and I was able to sit with a psychologist and just get guidance that I hadn't ever had before. And so I know that was all divinely planned um, for me to like really break out of the loop. Like I was really pushed out of it at that point of like, you
Mhm.
can't go back to your dad's. This person's here. Like you literally can't go back to your parents' place right now. And I had to sit there and be like, I really have nobody right now. A girlfriend had suggested me go into the shelter. And I knew it was the right answer because before she had actually, 20 minutes before she called, I was literally crying to the universe. I'm like, I need help. Like, I need help. I literally don't see anything in front of me right now. Within 20 minutes, my girlfriend called and she's like, honey, the first words out of her mouth, even, honey, you need to go to a shelter. And I just broke. And I was like, oh, you're right. I really need to do this. Even now, I'm getting emotional about it.
That's a hard decision to make for sure.
But it changed my life in a very deep way. And it was hard in the shelter. Like, they're not great places to go all the time.
Believe it.
And to put my kids in that situation was really hard. But they are such resilient kids. Oh my gosh, those kids are so resilient, and they were so strong through that time as well. And I worked really hard to get us a home and to get us set up and that was a struggle too because every time I was kind of handed something, it seemed like it went away as well. So it was like the universe just kind of kept the treadmill going of like you got to keep moving. None of this is permanent right now, but you just got to keep moving. And so anywhere that I think craved control, the universe was like, no, like we're just gonna, you're just gonna have to keep trusting us that everything will be okay.
It's that
And
surrender, right?
yeah, yeah. And so I didn't realize how much victimhood I was living in as well.
Mhm.
And so even as we got a home, I got income support, but then that got taken away. Um, How to do food bank, which is fine. Like we've had to do that before, but just like as things were coming, nothing was stable. Like nothing landed for very long. And so, and I'd get some jobs and they were okay, but then they would fall through. And I just had to really release any sense of like gripping or control. And even community was taken. And I really had to be alone like in such a deeper way, I think, than I've ever been alone. Of like, you have nobody but you and the universe and God right now to really rely on. And it helped me purge a lot of anger just so much stuff. It really changed me. And then through it all, I was still going through my shaman course. And I feel like it just was set up so beautifully that as I'd go through something, I'd have a shaman class to go to. And then I'd get healing for exactly what had just happened. And other people in the course were going through the same things as me. And so then I didn't feel so alone. I was like, oh, I'm actually being seen on just such a higher level now. Like I really had to be stripped of people that we just had to go separate ways.
Mhm. And I feel like that experience really pulled you forward though too, right? Like pulled you into your full potential, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it really did. Like I really had to go deep, like deeper than I've ever had to go before, and really access parts of myself that I've never accessed before. I didn't even know were there, because we get so caught up in the chaos and just surviving and just functioning. And that's where I've been my whole life. And I really built a life based on all that trauma that I had lived growing up with my mom and just life things that happen. And as kids, you don't understand what's happening. And this, I had time to sift through it. I had time to see what it was for. I had time. So it was like the universe took money from me so I would sit, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It
Does.
would took all of that because if I had something, it's like, oh, I can get food. I can go do this. And then you're just like, no. Like sit down, sleep, cry, get angry, go for a walk. Like it really put me in a monk mode position.
Like it
Uh
forces you to just be with yourself and you have
yes.
no other choice. And
Yes.
then and I think like we were talking earlier about the being like addicted to emotions and all of that kind of stuff or whatever. Like I think survival is another one of those. Like
Yes.
you don't like no other way but to live, but in survival mode.
That's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
All I've ever known.
Yeah. Just
And
gotta get through one more day, one more day, one more day, one more day.
yeah, yeah. Um, and so the universe and I kind of fell in step the last 6 months of whenever I was supposed to do something, all the resources came through to do that thing. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm just gonna sit, process, sleep, eat, take care of my kids, do whatever. I think even my vehicles have been taken this year too. So like I literally couldn't go anywhere. And so if I was supposed to go anywhere, then the gifts would come through. And I'm like, oh, this is like deeper. Like this relationship, my relationship with God, with the universe, just cultivated in such a deeper resonance this year of like I just had to trust. I had to trust.
I was just gonna say the amount of trust that you have right now is like incredible. Like
I'm just
to
like,
just surrender to everything and just trust that it's gonna work out is
yeah,
yeah, it's a whole new level of
it,
trying
it
to trust
is.
when you feel like you've been betrayed for so long, like so many years of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the other interesting thing is that I've had to contend with is when I'm content,
Mhm.
the anger that it brings out in other people, you
Yes.
know,
Right.
because my life isn't functioning how they're expecting me to function in it.
Yeah. When you're not playing that role anymore.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I've had to contend with a few very like I took my dog out for a walk and it just happened I forgot my bag or whatever and I was like, okay, I'll go back and clean it up later. I'll continue my walk for right now. And then this very angry gentleman came up and was screaming at me and videoing me and threatening to call bylaw. And I was like, the first time in my life, because I'm usually fairly reactive, this was 100% a test. I looked at him, I'm like, call bylaw, like, not a big deal, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what's your name? I'm like, I'm not giving you my name. And he just like continued to follow me. And it was the very first time I was like, I actually don't have any emotion to feed this.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, I
You're
don't
just
have to feed
neutral.
it with my emotion. And it was such a great moment. Because then I went home and called cops or whatever I needed to do. But that I could be in a volatile moment like that and actually not feed it with my energy.
Mhm.
And to me, I'm like, oh, this whole year, as I felt, been leading up to that, to just be in volatile situations and know that I'm okay, that I don't have to feed it. I'm still human. It might happen, right? Lesson learned, whatever. But it was the first moment where I actually held my agency in a situation like that. And then I had people support me. My landlord supported me, and the police actually supported me. And I was like, whoa, that was such a healing moment. I'm
Mhm.
like, I must have done some work this year to be able to get through that okay.
Isn't it amazing though when you have these experiences and you can just be like, oh my God, like the work that I've been doing for myself is actually paying off. Like you can see that in this
Right?
situation. You're like, okay, it's not just been for nothing. I don't know what happened. Seems that we lost Cassandra. Hopefully, she'll be able to pop back on. This technical difficulties happen sometimes. But yeah, we were just talking about how doing your own inner work, right? Like Cassandra is definitely showing how doing this own inner work on yourself. I don't know if you've heard me say before, we're talking about like when you're strong and stable within yourself, then whatever is happening in the world around you allows you to just like not have that reaction. You don't have that reaction anymore. You just are, and you know how it's about making those different choices, right? So that you're not reacting from this like wounded place or reacting, not even reacting, but you're like um just in a place of sovereignty and in a place of embodiment within yourself, like your full beingness and your full like just being that strong, stable structure within yourself, right? So, hoping that Cassandra's going to be able to pop back on here. Otherwise, we might just have to wrap this all up. But I've really loved experiencing and listening to Cassandra's story today and everything that she has gone through. Like she talked about her kids being resilient. Like, well, of course, look at their mom. Like she's been so resilient in everything that she has been working through and working forward. And, just taking one day at a time is so important when you're like processing through all of these things, right? And so I'm really grateful that she was able to share with us her story. And hopefully, we'll be able to maybe have her back on another time. But with that, I'm going to wrap this up. And if there's any solo moms that are out there that are struggling and trying to navigate through, life and building their empire and wanting to take action in their business and everything, I do have a solo mom course that is online, so that it's like easily accessible for you to do at your leisure. And it gives you like, we go through the clearing and the healing and all of that kind of stuff so that you're able to really move forward in what it is that you're working through and like clearing those traumas and everything. So that is going to be in the description below. But thankfully, Cassandra is back. So we're going to just let her back in here and continue on. I did admit her. This is just life. If you've listened to me before, this is just life. This is how we operate. Okay, it says that she's here. Okay, joining. Because technical difficulties happen, and that is just how things go. Giving her a few minutes here. Here she is. Hello,
I'm so
dear.
I'm so
I was
sorry.
just like rambling on while I was waiting for you to come back. So I was
Oh
like,
my God.
fingers crossed, I was gonna wrap it up, but I was like, no, no, perfect. Here she is. Okay. But I was just talking about how like you'd said earlier about be like your kids being resilient, and I was like, you're resilient. So they know no other way, right?
Mm,
Like you just keep going no matter what. Everything that has been thrown at you, you just keep going and figuring it out and navigating and maneuvering. And like that is just amazing in itself.
mm.
Like it is something to really be celebrated. And I hope that you do celebrate yourself like all the time, like everything that you've gone through.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I'm starting to get there now.
Mhm.
I think I've lived a life where I've been really hard on myself, like too hard on myself. And lately I've realized I'm human. I'm allowed to fuck up. Like
I
I'm
I
I'm
just
a,
read I just read this thing the other day that it was like we are not like we are spirit learning to how to have a human experience. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, this is why I don't want to do the humaning. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to do those things. I don't. I want to
I know. I know. It's like, I'm a Virgo rising, so I'm like, can I just get it right already? Like I know the right way to do it. Why can't I access that? And it's like
Right.
you have to learn how to be a messy human. I'm like, okay,
Well, and that's
okay.
exactly it, right? And I think like giving yourself grace for being human, right? That
Oh,
we're all here learning. We're not meant to get it perfect on the first try, right? But there's always like you always have another opportunity, right? It seems
oh,
that there's
always.
another opportunity.
And I
So,
think too, like where I've blamed people before because I was really
mhm,
angry at my parents for a long time
yeah, same
and
here.
blamed them for a lot of things. And then I really hit this point where I'm like, fuck, I'm so human and they're so human.
Mhm.
And doing the deeper healing work of like how we punish ourselves for being human.
Yeah.
Too, this year was all about grace. Like every time I turn around, like there's just grace has
You
to
know what's
happen.
hilarious is I literally just pulled like was pulling cards every morning, and the card that came out, the last one I pulled was Grace.
Yeah,
I was like, of course
yeah,
it is, because it would be so divinely guided today.
right. So that's been the big message this year is grace and gentle, gentle. Like every time I turn around, mentors, healers are like gentle, gentle, like gentle. And I'm just like, oh, right, gentle. This can be a gentle experience. I'm like,
Sagittarius is not gentle.
yeah, I'm
Sagittarius is not gentle.
so gentle. I think when healer, she was like, the first part of your life, it was like your face kept getting slammed into a bucket of water. I'm like, yep, that's what it felt like.
So, if people wanted to work with you, how would they go about that? I know you have like a new place that you're working at right now, which is super exciting.
Man, talk about divinely guided. The universe set this one day up just so beautifully. My back went out. My oldest back went out at the same time, which was so interesting.
Mhm.
So down for my girlfriend's a chiropractor, and my friend talks about this chiropractor. And so then I had to go deem the services because my back was brutal. And through conversation, he had an office upstairs. So I am in an office above his clinic. So you can find me at Element Chiropractic with the Alternative Health Collective. I have a beautiful big office up there where I can do all my services and I have all my products as well. So
And this is in Edmonton.
this is in Edmonton. So it's just south of White Ave and it's in a very beautiful, beautiful building with amazing practitioners. Wow, words. There's an acupuncturist and a couple of massage therapists and a reflexologist and just a really beautiful space. So that's where you can find me. I have a website, wanderingessenceapothecary.com, where people can book with me. I also have Instagram. I have two Instagrams, Wandering Essence Apothecary and then Wandering Essence Medicine.
Yes.
And then
And I'll drop
Zooms.
those in the description for everybody too.
Sounds good. And then I do lots of video calls and Zooms as well.
I
So
was just gonna ask, do you do
yeah,
online? So okay,
yeah.
perfect.
So
Perfect.
that's all on my website. So whatever services they book, if they want to do them online, there is an online option as well. So
So,
yeah.
so is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap this up today?
Um, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for having
I'm
me.
so glad that you said yes.
Yeah. I loved our connection from that first time we met, and I love that it's been a constant in the background, whether I'm in and out of things.
That's just life,
And
right?
that's just life. Yep. Um, and I'm just grateful for beginning to tell my story with like-minded individuals, and that we're ready for this time of sharing what we've been through, and we're all ready for healing and to thrive. I'm just so ready to create a beautiful life and to thrive. So, so much gratitude. So much gratitude.
Do you have any final messages for solo moms who might be needing some extra love right now?
Yeah, receive the help. I think
Yeah.
sometimes the hardest thing is we can ask for help, but it's receiving it. So that was a big message when I was in the shelter as well. Of I was just really grateful for the resources, and the workers reminded me, they're like, it's really good that you're able to receive because a lot of people can't. So I think we're going to be in a very deep dive of having to receive whether we like it or not.
Finding your
So
community right now
yeah.
is going to
And
be helpful.
and get out even when you feel like you need to isolate, sleep, right, do what you need to do, take care of yourself, but spend 5 minutes in conversation with somebody a day if you can. Just reach out to somebody, have a conversation. I know that's where I struggle because I self isolate a lot because I just don't want to be a burden on other people,
Mhm.
and it's taken me a long time to be able to receive just conversation from other people
Mhm.
and to reach out and look vulnerable. So reach out, be vulnerable, don't isolate.
I
And
love that you said that, like about being a burden, like feeling like you're a burden. And
yeah,
one of the best things that I ever heard somebody say is like, you not reaching out to those people or you not allowing them to give to you is doing them a disservice,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Because it's
You're taking that away from them by not allowing them to give to you, like, because
yeah,
they want to. If they
yeah,
don't want to, you'll know. But
yeah,
like, if they want to, then like,
mhm,
yeah, like,
yeah,
thank you. Thank you. Like,
yeah,
it's really, yeah.
yeah,
When I heard that, I was like, okay, because I had a hard time with receiving.
yeah, yeah. Well, when you're so used to doing everything on your own, it's a big trust
Yes.
issue with the universe, right? Like,
Yes.
well, I've had to do everything by myself,
Yeah.
right? And so the other thing is it's puts you in a very vulnerable place receiving, because it opens you up to that vulnerability. So it's something I had to really, and I'm still really working on, is receiving, because I have to. I have no choice. And I've been very hyper independent, and I over controlled everything because that was my safety net, because I had to, because I had parents that needed help. So I was that kid that helped my parents. I was that parentified daughter, and it's a hard habit to break. A
Yes.
hard habit to break.
You've been the nurturer your whole
Yeah,
life and giving
yeah.
to everybody else. The universe all of a sudden decides, guess what? You're going to learn how to receive too, because you can get to
Hmm.
receive. And there's a
Yeah,
whole lot of like worthy and deservingness wounds that come up with that as well, that you're like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we believe we have to work. Like, I believe that I've had to earn my
That's the other
relationships and
thing.
earn love,
Proving
and not,
yourself,
yeah.
all of that,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
so this has been a big time of just learning what self-love actually looks like, and putting myself as a priority over
Mhm.
other people. That's a hard one. Putting yourself as priority as a mom, even over your kids sometimes, like the guilt and the shame that comes with that. And I'm like, but if I don't fulfill my own needs and put myself as and fill my cup, I have nothing to give from. And that's when I get sick. That's when I get angry. That's usually when I go down. So I have to make the time, as little as it is most days, to even just sit
Yeah,
and just be like, don't bother me right now. I gotta sit.
yeah.
Or I gotta look after my work right now because that feeds us, or,
Mhm.
things like that. And putting boundaries around my time and my energy and who has access to that has been a huge thing. And that everybody has to have access to you and your energy,
Mhm.
and learning that our energy is our currency, like in that last scenario that I told you about with that
Yes.
gentleman of like, oh, my energy is my currency. I'm not giving you any of that. Like, I get to protect that. I get to keep that and keep it safe, right?
Well, and
So,
I truly believe that you showing your kids that too teaches them how valuable their time, their energy, and taking care of themselves first and foremost is as well. Because I know
yes.
my girls have definitely like they're very good at that, being like, I
Hmm.
need this right now, and they give it to themselves, right?
Good.
Like I was not like that, but I was like, okay, but they've learned that through me and
Yeah.
my stuff, right? And I know one of the biggest things that I've actually had to like deep dive into that I like a limiting belief that I had was that like my needs don't matter.
Hmm.
And like, how did
Yep.
that happen? Where did that even come from?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if you're so busy fulfilling everybody
into
else's
everybody
needs,
else. Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You,
especially when you're in service to people, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a completely yeah. Where and I was like, no, my needs matter too.
Yeah. 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 I matter. I matter. I'm
Yeah,
here. I know what I bring
exactly.
to the table. I matter and I have
Yeah.
needs.
Well, and I
And
can tell everybody else like you're worthy and deserving because you're here, because you exist, because blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
blah, right? But it's like learning how to embody that yourself is a whole other situation.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. What? I have needs? What?
Yeah, what's wrong with it? I'm allowed to want things? What?
Yep.
This is
Yep.
crazy.
Oh, it's me that's getting in the way of the things that I want.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not giving
I'm the
myself
problem.
permission. That's been one of my big things. I'm like, oh, right. It's me. I'm the problem.
You mean it's all me? Okay,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just going to sit here and shift and cry and grieve
Yeah,
and just
we're just gonna,
gonna
I'm a
deal
firm
with it.
believer of sacred rage ceremonies
Oh,
of
all
those.
over it. Let's have it.
Right? I actually have one coming up next week, so I'm excited to host that.
We should do a podcast about it one day and just go out to the field and be like, okay, guys, this is how we do.
This is how we do the sacred rage. It's a real deal. It's a real thing. Feminine rage is a real thing. They wonder why women have so many like problems with their like hormones and their body and like all the cortisol, all the things. Because it's like all these stored emotions that you're not allowing yourself to process because it's like, the belief of like women don't get to do that and women should be like, like be a good girl and be proper and be da 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 da. And it's like, oh my God.
Oh my God, we get so much stuff done when we're angry, though. Like the stuff
Yeah.
that gets done.
Yeah.
And rage is the basis of our boundaries. The reason we get angry is
Yes.
because our boundary has been
Been
crossed.
violated.
A-
Absolutely.
And most of the time, too, it's not the other person we're even mad at. It's
No.
us that we're mad at for letting that person cross our boundary. So I'm a big
Or
believer in rage,
reacting or whatever.
right? And I had a lot of rage. I was very reactive through my divorce, like just so reactive. I felt so justified in it, and maybe I was, but to be able to channel rage in a way that you can just, it's like an inner fire that you're tending to. It's like someone's pissing you off, and you're like, I don't actually have to react because I process my rage, and I'm gonna go deal with this in a
Mhm.
healthy way, and I don't have to be pulled into this rage act that gets used against me. And when we're able to actually see what our rage does, oh my gosh, that's like we build our life around that, right? Because that's our boundary. Um, Man, there was something on the tip of my tongue I was going to say, but Alanis Morissette, she speaks about rage. And I
Okay.
love how she speaks about rage because it's like at the heart of activism. It's why we bring change. If we wouldn't get mad about anything, change doesn't happen. And we're about
Absolutely.
to have 7 planets in Aries right now.
Good luck, everybody, because
Have
Aries is
fun.
like, burn that shit down now.
I
We
think
don't,
this,
they don't even second guess it. They're just like,
right?
man, light the match, throw it,
Yeah.
done. And I
Walk away.
moon, so that doesn't help
The new moon's going to be in Aries. Mars is going to be like, there's going to
yeah,
be.
It's gonna get spicy, y'all.
That's all fire. That's all
I
fire,
know.
right?
I know. Well, and it transmutes things, right?
Yeah,
Like burn things to transmute it so there can be new
yeah,
growth and new life and newness and all of this stuff. So it's not a
yeah.
bad thing. It's really not, right? That's
No,
why I use fire for so many things. Like I'm always
right?
like, burn it. Just burn
Well,
it.
and I think the feminine is very much reclaiming that. So a lot of the time we've given our power away, right? And so now we're reclaiming our right to it, right? It's almost like my course Earning the Light. It's like we're reclaiming that power. We're calling it back. We see where we gave it away now. And now
Mhm.
that we've seen it, because again, humans, experiential beings, we have to go through the act of something. Oh, I see what I gave away. Oh, now I'm going to call that back. Maybe not all of it. Maybe just a part of it. Maybe I don't need all of it back, but I see the part of it I need back, right?
Yes. That part of me, sometimes I think is usually what it is. I need that part of me back that I
Yeah,
gave away, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's a lot of like the healing work I do. And the basis of a lot of the ceremonies that I do is calling that power back. We get to go dive deep, there we go, into where we gave it away in the first place. And then we can shift it. We can shift our outlook to it. We can build a better relationship to it. We can call it back. We can give ourselves the healed outcome we needed in that moment. So, yeah. I wanted to share this card quickly too before we go. I pulled it and I love it. It's Love Lies Bleeding. It's the plant amaranth. And this card is so powerful.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a mood this week. Love lies bleeding.
Mhm.
And so, as we're talking about rage and stuff like that, this deals with the magic of being able to cleanse our blood. And it's funny, I'm like, I'm wearing red today too. And like just how powerful the feminine is because we bleed every month. We die and we're reborn every month. And this is such a powerful time for the feminine to reclaim that as we're talking about rage too, and as we're talking about this just before we go into this week, of just so much happening in Aries, of this reclamation of that magic within us, I think is so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this has been lovely. I feel like we could talk for a whole
Okay.
other
I know.
hour.
It's like, let's just keep going.
So I actually do think we need to have you back on sometime for
Yeah,
sure.
I would love to be back. This has been so
Awesome.
good. So
Okay,
good.
well, with that, thank you so much for being here with me today and sharing
Yeah.
your story and all your beautiful wisdom.
Thank
And
you, my dear.
yeah, until next time, we'll see. We'll be back again.
Sounds good.
Oh.